Hi Circuit Riders, welcome back to Florida. If you missed our video last week, you might not know that we have bought a property down here in Florida in Titusville at a complex called the Great Outdoors. It's an RV lot that we're going to use every winter. We're so excited to be there. So go and check out that video if you want to learn more about it. But today we are just running some errands here in Titusville, and we're here at Tractor Supply filling up some propane. It's been chilly here in Florida in early January. We've had to run the furnace overnight a little bit. But anyway, when we were driving through Titusville to get here, we passed by the Canaveral National Seashore National Park office. And I had forgotten that this was a national park unit down here at the National Seashore. So I looked it up, and it does cost $15 to get in there, but we still have an America the Beautiful pass for a few more weeks. It's good until the end of this month. So I said to Jason, while we're out today, let's run up there and see if we can go to the visitor center and do a little beach walk. So we'll see what we can find.
And is there a map, or is it even one needed?
Oh, I get you one.
Yeah, we'll take one.
Directionally, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I figured it was pretty straightforward.
Oh, right. Yeah. You're all set, though.
Thanks, man.
So we've just caught the National Seashore at the end of the day here. There's a kind of two different sections of it. A little northern part where the Apollo Visitor Center is, that's where we are. And then further south, actually right across from Titusville, is the southern part of the park. We didn't realize it was so close there, but we'll do that a different day and we'll loop it into this video. So now we're at the little stop of Eldora. This was the original little fishing village that was settled in this area in the late 1800s. About 100 people lived here, and they've just got one house left that they have renovated into kind of some offices and a museum. So we'll go down and see the fishing docks and this house here. And then there's a 6-mile drive. Once you get into the park, you can drive for 6 miles, and then the road ends, and then there's a whole bunch of seashore, and then the road picks up again on the southern end, but you can't drive all the way through there, so it's kind of two separate entrances. And then right outside of the park, to the west, is the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge, which is like literally outside of the national park, but it's kind of bundled together with it. So when we do the southern part, we'll hit the wildlife refuge as well. Very pretty 1800s house here. It's locked right now. There's no hours listed on there, so I'm not sure when it would be open. But this is we're realizing our third national seashore. We did Cape Cod National Seashore. We did Cape Hatteras in North Carolina, and now Canaveral. Cool. You know, we love doing national park units. It's our new collection game. There's kind of 3 points of interest in this northern part of the park. The visitor center, and then the Eldora that we were just at. This is Castle Windy hike, a short hike out to an Indian mound, Minden Mound.
Middens.
And then there's another mound on the way out called Turtle Mound. So we'll do the 3 things here, and then we'll see how much light we've got left to see if we can go for a scenic drive on the way back. There's a pig. There's a wild pig in there. But you can't see it. Do you see where it is?
Yeah, he's moving.
Oh, there he is.
Might be a couple back there.
I don't know if you can see it on the camera. these big black wild pigs in this area of Florida. I saw one the other day at the Great Outdoors. We were walking on the nature trail in the back, and there was a bunch of deer, and then I saw this black thing run into the woods behind him, and I said, that's no deer, that looks like a pig. And now we just saw one off of this trail, but it's too deep in the woods now for me to catch it on camera. But that's definitely what it was.
Yeah, I think I saw a couple. There was the one in motion.
You saw it.
And then one that was, yeah, yeah. I got a decent quick view of it.
So at the end of the Castle Windy Trail is a shell midden. There's a few different ones here. So a shell midden is just a big mound that was left, kind of a waste pile of shells after prehistoric and colonial people would harvest the shellfish and mollusks out of the water, and then they would just discard the shells, and they make these huge mounds. So there's one here, there's another one up at Turtle Mound that we'll see. And we've seen them before, I think in the southern states, like maybe along the Gulf Coast. But there's a lot of them here in Canaveral.
Yeah, they can be over hundreds and thousands of years building up. That's why they can be so big, is because literally it's multi generations of people harvesting them and leaving the shells behind. It's kind of cool.
The video at the visitor center was saying that a lot of the shell middens in southern Florida, or mid-Florida here, had been harvested to build roads once northerners were coming down here to settle. But this area is kind of unusual because there was a town here. So when they were harvesting the shells to build the roads, they didn't disturb the ones that were in the town, were around the houses. So these ones are still surviving today. There are 10 national seashores altogether that are run by the National Park Service, and 3 national lake shores. So 8 of the national seashores are on the East Coast. 1 is on the Gulf Coast of Texas, and 1 on the Pacific Coast. And then the lake shores are all up north. So Sleeping Bear Dunes in Michigan, we did that one. Painted Rocks in Michigan, we did that one. And then there's one in Wisconsin. We haven't done that one yet. Well, we've driven to the end of the 6-mile road. There's just a loop down here to turn back around. There is plenty of spots to get off and go on the beach, and you can sunbathe out here. We even saw a sign that said you may encounter nude sunbathers at parking lot 5. So just be aware. I said not today. It's very chilly today. But you can also fish in here. There's boat tours. I think you can kayak in here. So there's lots of recreation here on the National Seashore.
It's cool how high up in the air this is.
This is our last stop for the day, Turtle Mound. Really lovely elevated boardwalk out to some observation decks to see the Indian River. And I think that there are some shell middens here as well, but they're a little bit harder to see. Oh, I think I can see them over the edge.
So, like in here.
Yeah, it's kind of built on it. You can see them down here. This is the Indian River Intercoastal Waterway on this side, and the Atlantic Ocean over here. Well, we are back over here at Canaveral National Seashore today. It's a few days later, and we're taking the opportunity today to come over because our RV is in the shop. The service center over at the Great Outdoors has the RV for the day to fix that bed slide that's been broken for about the past 6 weeks since Thanksgiving. So they got a whole new set of parts in, and they're going to fix that slide today. But that means that we are out of house and home for about 7 hours. So we thought this would be a good opportunity to drive over to Merritt Island and finish up the National Seashore. But also over here is the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge. It's separate from the National Seashore, but they're kind of next to each other. So we stopped into the Wildlife Visitor Center. We got a map. There's lots of scenic drives here. So we're going to start here at the Black Point Wildlife Drive. Now there is a kind of a self-pay $10 fee to drive on this loop, but if you have the America the Beautiful Pass, it is also good here. They told me at the Visitor Center, so that's really nice that we can get in here with our America the Beautiful Pass, and we're going to see what we can get up to today.
Critters too.
Jason already saw a hawk that caught a fish.
Yeah, I think it was it may have not been a hawk, but I got video of it, so you can show it there. It's kind of cool. Actually saw it fly in and land. It was starting to try to eat it a little bit, but.
That was very cool. Impromptu rocket launch while we were watching some birds here. Sounded like that was a SpaceX launch. Someone had their phone playing a live report of the launch and sounded like it was from SpaceX.
It's like being out and seeing a bald eagle. You're like, oh look, there's a rocket launch. It's like the third or fourth one since we've been here that just happened to catch because it was happening. Wow, very cool.
It's chilly, but it's still a beautiful day for a walk.
The sun's out. It's nice for sure.
Hold on here this week. It's going to be like in the high 50s, daytime highs, which is we're not used to in Florida, but it's not bad. So we're still in the wildlife refuge. This is a little dirt road called BioLab Road that kind of goes down the border of the National Seashore. So we have not had to cross the gate into the National Seashore area yet, but at the end of this road we will have the opportunity to either go into the National Seashore or head back to Titusville. So it looks like BioLab Road is right on the Mosquito Lagoon. Right, so Merritt Island is a little island off the coast here, and there's some different rivers, the Indian River, the Banana River, the Mosquito Lagoon, and then the Atlantic Ocean are all kind of in this area. The guy at the visitor center told us we might see some gators on BioLab Road, so that's why we're coming down here, but it's pretty chilly today, so I would be surprised if we see any. The big building you can see in the background here is Kennedy Space Center. The wildlife refuge borders right on the northern border of the Space Center area, which of course is off limits to the public. You can't drive in there. You could go over to the public museum, but you can't just like drive on these back roads through the Space Center. Well, we didn't see any gators, but it was nice to see the launch pads off in the distance of the Kennedy Space Center. So we are coming down the border of the Canaveral National Seashore now, so we're gonna go ahead and zip through this gate here and just see the southern part of the National Seashore. I don't actually think there's much points of interest there. There is a beach and a few miles of road that we can drive up the coast. A really good view of the rocket launcher pads from inside the National Seashore. Jason was just saying he wished that he had known that SpaceX rocket was gonna go earlier today because we could have come down here to watch it. That's a great viewing spot.
we'll keep that in mind. Try it out sometime.
This is Playalinda Beach. This is the main beach in the southern part of the National Seashore. And I think there is also a boat launch here, but the beach is really the main attraction.
Yeah, the other attraction is probably these nest sites here. So I wonder if they're marked right now. Marked with yellow and white wooden stakes.
All right, let's see if we can find some. Well, we didn't see any turtle markers down there, but it's not really hatching season right now in January. Sea turtles normally hatch in the summer between July and October is what I read. Well, that's about it for us on the Canaveral National Seashore and the Merritt Island Wildlife Refuge. Thanks for coming along with us this week, and we hope you had a good time, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys. Bye.